everybody, and brightest blessings. I'm Lady Leeanna, as you know, watching the show and all. Today I have special guest, Edgar Versace.
Edgar, I'm a practitioner of Umbara Branca Nova.
But he has studied Santeria, and that's what I want to actually talk to him about today. It's good for us to actually get a beat on other religions, at least to understand it. Because, I mean, so often we're judged, tried, and condemned by other religions ourselves within witchcraft, Wicca, shamanism, druidism, whatever. And, you know, and it's generally because of ignorance there. So if we don't understand the other religions that we hear about, you know, that are a little bit deeper and darker, more mysterious, I guess, is a better term. If we don't get a beat on that, then we're just as ignorant as the other people that judge, trial, or condemn us. We also have Rodney Swindell here, who has also been a guest on the show already some time ago.
Hello.
And I'm glad to have both of them here. It's good to see you.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's good to see you. Both are students of mine, and they both have been for quite a long time. Rodney for over 13 years.
Yes,
I think more closer to 16 years. Anyway, long time. And Edgar for 7 years, since me and my husband have been together.
Yeah, 7 years. And
Right about that. And now, do bear in mind, I did say that he said that he studies in Umbara now, and he's practiced in Santeria. I've also likewise said that he's been a student of mine, and that's quite alright. And that's one other thing that I would like for all of you to understand, is that it's okay to be a path searcher and go through different religions, studying them all, and have one teacher that is witch or Wiccan or whatever, and have another teacher that's completely something else to you. It makes you somewhat eclectic, but it doesn't undermine the base of your religion. You know, it also doesn't undermine the fact that later on you can call yourself a witch, a Wiccan, an Umbara practitioner, or a Santeria practitioner, or whatever. Now, Rodney has practiced as a green witch. That's what I would view him more to be. He's our book reader for the most part. I mean, he goes through the books like crazy, where I'm a bit lazy in my golden age. I've learned a lot and read quite a bit, and I've gotten lazy. So, just, you know, lazy. That's all there is to it. But, nonetheless, we're here to talk about Santeria.
Santeria, the religion.
And he's actually brought a book. Show everybody your book.
I brought this book, Santeria, the religion, by this author, Magine Gonzalez Wimpler. And basically, you're going to find very limited English books in Santeria, because a lot of it is practiced in Latin America. Now, another thing, the Santeria people are very, very protective and guarding as far as their tradition goes. A lot of it still is practiced behind doors, even though we're more open nowadays than not being persecuted or
as the witches and everybody else.
Right, but they still keep a lot of their traditions hidden. Some houses more than others. So a lot of the information you're only going to get as an initiate. So even
and a great deal passed down, probably, I would imagine.
Right, from the Santero or the Babalao, the priest or the high priest. And so like I said, information is very limited, but they do have some English books. This one is one of the more informative one that I have found.
Now, a lot of people are afraid of Santeria.
Exactly.
Just as much as they are voodoo, if not more, these days. Tell me, a lot of people have a view on Santeria as being an extremely dark religion. How would you say, or what would you say about this?
It's misunderstood more than anything. A lot of it, you know, word of mouth, people saying, oh, the old Santeria guy down there or the old voodoo guy over there. They do practice animal sacrifices. So that's one big thing
that's one of the darkest aspects, right?
Yeah, some people kind of don't feel. I personally didn't feel comfortable of it myself starting out, But you got to really understand this is tradition that they're doing back whenever this
so
was.
they don't know better. They've learned
Right.
this. Kind of like in the oldest days. I mean, we hunted and actually, I believe in witchcraft, I'm pretty sure a long time ago they committed animal sacrifices, as did a lot of other people for
Right.
a better hunt. As a matter of fact, there were stone carvings of Cernunnos, actually clay models of the god Cernunnos, and the deer that they would hunt, or the bison. And you would stand on the side of Cernunnos, or behind him, and you would actually chunk your spears at the clay models of the bison, indicating a good hunt would be on the way. So, I mean, I think that's, when it's in your tradition, you really don't know to weed it out. You don't really know whether it's bad or good. It's just something you do.
Right, and like I said, it's tradition. Like Miss Leeanna just said, in the old country, we didn't have the comfort of going out and buying a chicken at the Kroger's and bringing it and offering it to our deity.
Don't black rooster.
Yeah, so there were a little bit more violent ways of obtaining their meat. But I kind of want to point out that sacrifice, as we're calling it, it's not really like, hey, I'm gonna go kill this so this deity does this for me. No, these are benevolent gods, deities. They're actually evolved. They don't need something from us to carry out something. It's just more or less it's something that we do on their behalf. Yeah,
It's an offering, an honoring to the gods.
Yeah, it's called an adimu. Adimu is when the deity says, we'll do something for you, and then we bring forth a offering. Now there is something called an ebo. An ebo is an actual sacrifice that we offer to them. Now, what the belief is that it's not like me bribing the deity with this, animal. It's actually us giving it to them. They believe that the animal sacrifice, they take the energy, they convert that sacrifice into energy, which then they use to carry out whatever you're needing to do. So it's like an energy boost for them, and that's what the tradition teaches.
Now, let's bear in mind that Edgar and I have discussed this before, and that was around the same time that he decided to seek out other religions because he was so conscientious.
Exactly.
After studying under me for so long, that he was conscientious about abiding within that religion any longer, and so he started seeking out other pathways.
Right. And
First weeding out any ideas of sacrifice, and then secondly, seeking out other religions. Now he's studying in Umbanda, I believe that we've already said.
Yes.
But, I don't understand a lot about that, but that's for a different show. Anyway, so getting rid of the ideas of sacrifice, because I'm an animal lover. I'm
Me
sure
too.
a lot of my
Me
viewers
too.
are too.
Rodney
Rodney is. We don't condone the ideas of animal sacrifices, but we are not able to say anything about anyone else doing it because that's their own freedom of religion.
and their tradition.
And their tradition. And that's one thing you do have to understand, is you don't know any better if you're taught
Exactly.
no better.
Exactly.
Correct? Did I say that right?
Exactly.
Okay, so talk to me about your orishas, which are another name for your deities, correct?
Yes, we do worship the orishas. Basically what this is from birth you are assigned a certain guardian angel per se, which they say from birth this is your orisha that guards over your head. Basically translated is what they're saying, your head orisha or your main orisha. This deity kind of sticks with you throughout your life, and it is basically there to ensure that you get to where you need to be in life. Your what would you call it?
Your goals, your ambition, your
Destiny.
destiny.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I was way off.
And I was just spacing
Yes.
anyway, so...
Basically, yeah, they're there to kind of help you out through life so that your destiny can be fulfilled. Now, keep in mind that once you're actually initiated into this religion, you receive different deities, or as they call it, receiving different orishas to kind of help you out in life or through life as you need them. I call it, basically, it's a presentation to the deity because you are born with it, kind of like the Catholic guardian angel, Now, what they do is you go through a ritual of the elekes or necklaces, and basically you're presented into 5 different deities, which those deities are there or introduce you as a protection from evil. And that's just like the first initiation, and they actually are a protective amulet that you carry with you,
Right.
and it is charged with the deity's essence, and there's
And you go
offerings
through a
done.
ceremony for each one of these.
No, you actually receive 5 into the religion.
Okay.
Yes. Then that's just as you're entering this. Later on, of course, through the Kaura shell castings, it's determined if indeed the Orisha that is guarding you at the time is the one that's meant to guard you the rest of your life, or if he's just kind of accompanying you to your father or your mother is received. A lot of times, the one that's been guarding you from birth is the one that actually is going to be with you throughout your life. My personal experience, it wasn't. I'm not really sure or understanding why, but I guess because I was ignorant at that time and just specifically called.
You talking about the time that I met you, or
Yes.
about that time
Yes.
whenever I put you on a year-and-a-day path of
Yes.
understanding?
Yes, I had Ogun guarding me, and I actually was telling people I'm a son of Ogun because that deity was with me throughout the life. He was with me because I needed him to. Later on, as I grew into it, I was actually discovered that I was actually the son of Shango. Shango is one of the best and more known deities in Santeria. That's actually him in the book cover. He is a god of thunder, kind of like Thor. Fire, he's a king, as they say, King Shango Oba, and he's one of the most popular deities. So I was
Now, do
actually
you
told-
believe in the deities when you talk of them? Do you believe in them as aspects of each other? Like, as in other religions? Like, in my opinion,
Mhm.
now, this would be Zeus. Another aspect of him.
Right.
As would Diana be another aspect of the Virgin Mary, or
Actually, I actually kind of, I'm not really sure what the word is, but I kind of struggle with it in a way because of having to hide them as the old ones did behind the Catholic saints, which I started doing it, and then I got to the point where I was like, Saint Barbara is Shango, and so I was worshiping Saint Barbara as Shango, and of course Shango made me realize one time that these are energies similar to them, and that's why the old ones used them to cover them up, but they were individual deities on their own. And I kind of believe this of the same, Thor, Shango, they do have some similarities, but they are their own individual being, per se. But like you said...
kind of like sisters, but not twins.
Exactly,
Okay.
And like you said, they're all descendants of the same higher power, so they're going to have similarities all throughout the world.
Now, with Santeria, is feminine and masculine at an imbalance or at a balance?
It's I would definitely say it's an imbalance because a lot of the deities are worship predominantly males, as we have in the Christian faith. And it also goes back to the house. There are some houses that initiate you under your father, your main Orisha, and then your mother Orisha, and that kind of creates you at a balance, which is what I went through. I'm son of Shango and son of Oshun, so I do have that male and female balance there, and I actually needed it because I myself was, I guess, kind of aggressive growing up, and accepting the female essence of the higher power within me helped me balance out. And
Which is one of the reasons why you came to me, is because
Yes.
you were at an imbalance.
Exactly.
And this time I didn't stutter on the word. Yes, I am human, okay. Anyway, being at an imbalance, I think, is one of the things that drew you to me, as well as not even understanding the sacrifice ideas that were in Santeria, or not being able to be at one with it. You were seeking out other pathways and still trying to figure out who you were. And like you said, you were going through a lot of turmoil at that time and getting into trouble, you know, which also Curtis was too at the time that he came to me. I think that's how I found all my children. You know, but you know, in life we all go through these turmoils. I mean, the earth is full of people that are so many different ways, and you can't get everybody to see eye to eye with you on the ideas of peace and tranquility, and you know.
Well, that's because everyone's views are different.
Everybody's views are
Someone's view
different.
on peace might be completely different from somebody else's. So
Yeah, they didn't beat down the other guy in the parking lot that night. They just hit him once.
Right.
You know,
Definitely.
but no, I think all ideas of religion, no matter what pathway it is, I think that it's all very interesting, and I don't feel that there's any religion that's entirely right or none entirely wrong, as I say on a lot of my shows. There may be some that don't do the things that I feel at one with, like they're, well, I guess, would do the things I don't feel at one with. That's what I'm trying to say. Like they would do the animal sacrifice, you know, but they have other ways of practicing that is more peaceful, calm, and tranquil. You know, everybody has their balance. Even if they have an extreme negative, you know, they have an extreme positive too somewhere. Like being able to care or nurture, you know. Like they may have just slaughtered that rooster to save this girl over here that was dying from a flu that was out of control or whatever, you know.
Exactly.
And so I can't judge anybody for what it is that they do. I mean, I don't always have to understand it, you know, but everybody has their own purposes or reasons for it, you know. Anyway, so tell me, how do you feel about the rituals outside of sacrifice or anything like that?
Well, it is very beneficial. At the beginning of my journey, to be aligned with these orishas, these deities, because I did need them, and they did bring control and balance into my life, and they brought me that humbleness of, you know, me accepting that there is something bigger than me and humbling me down, and you know, having something worship and, you know, feel comfortable with. Something that I really did not agree with them, it's that they are benevolent beings, as I said, but some people view them as very vindictive. One, because in the Santeria religion, they don't believe in necessarily good and evil. Also, they don't believe in karma for some reason. But basically saying, example, Oshun, she rules over love, marriage, friendship, anything that has to do with that, kind of like Aphrodite, I'm guessing, in the Norse religion. Is she Norse?
She would be Greek.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, and she also is the one that rules over divorce, you know, separation and losing your friends. So whenever these bad things like divorce start happening, they tell you, Oshun is mad at you, so this is why your marriage is failing, so you need to appease her. Or
punishments are issued.
Yes. So basically what it is it's saying that this one deity, they both do good and bad. I don't want to say bad, but they're both beneficial.
They're
light and dark.
They're both balanced.
Yes.
They're light and dark.
Within that deity, because
You
they
can't
don't
say bad. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't want to say
You would
bad.
say light or dark.
What about gray?
Well, I mean,
Maybe.
Let's say justice. They're
Okay.
just in.
I don't know. Well,
being
let's
just
look
with
at it
people.
as justice, because on the earth, I mean, the court system isn't either light or dark, good or bad, but they do have a light and dark side, and they do have to impose what they feel that they have to impose, which may sentence someone to death. Of course, if they hadn't done that, then this person could have put 20 other people to death. You know, the one that they sentenced to death. You know, so I mean, and we can't feed everybody in the world. I mean, I guess, I don't know, is that me being a little bit selfish?
it's too controversial.
It is. It's way too controversial.
Yes, exactly.
You know, for our show, and it's more political than spiritual. So let's move on.
Yeah, yeah.
But let's see. Okay, they just kind of.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you know, as I was saying, they view them as, you know, doing good and then also causing the bad in their lives. But they also remind you that sometimes the bad is necessary to happen for the good to happen.
Well, you know,
There's
that
the
is
balance
actually the same in all other religions as well. We have Loki.
there. Like, yeah.
We
I've
have-
never met him.
Right, we have Hades. We have the ones that would condemn you to Tartarus, which is in the Greek mythology. You know, the spirits on Mount Olympus.
Right.
You know, they could condemn you to Tartarus if you're bad. I mean, you have the Christian faith, which has hell. You know, I mean, so no matter how light or gray the religion is, I guess it does exist, light, dark, and gray, as far as religion. But I think we would look at it on the level as far as
Judge and executioner.
judging and trialing and executing. I mean, and I guess on some level it has to exist.
Right.
You know, again, that's very political, and we're getting in some dangerous
Okay.
territory there. You know, but this book, tell me a little bit about it specifically.
This book actually is very informative about the religion. Santeria is strictly Cuban religion. Some people say, well, I practice the Nicaraguan Santeria. No, Santeria is Cuban religion. There's Santerismo, which is another form of Santeria, more Catholic based.